Grown Folks Production.
In the mix.
With the commish, Nate.
We start tonight off on a solemn note. It has been found out and brought to my attention that one of our OMFL Bowl participants has broken a year-long FPR. Thanks to the investigative work of the OMFL crew who finds out absolutely everything. You can't fart around this place without somebody smelling it. The Birdman has been busted for running banned FPR abilities all season long. And it is a sad day that we're going to have to ban him and sim the bowl win for Cincyburg. Congratulations to the OMFL Bowl winner for season 115, Cincyburg and the New York Jets. Congratulations. Let's everybody just clap it up. Congratulations, Cincyburg. Let me welcome in my guest here. Guys, I didn't think you'd be ready to welcome in Cincyburg for his Super Bowl win, but, you know, Bird broke FPR, so we got to do what we got to do. That is a joke. That's not a joke. Bird really did break FPR, but we're going to slap him on the wrist and move on with our lives. It happens. I get it. I try to keep things as simple as we can around here, but at some point, sometimes little things like that slip through, and it does explain, though, as it did with Priest. Everybody was like, Priest is really not throwing interceptions this year. Look at that guy. And it was like, oh, because he has the I can't throw interceptions ability turned on. That's banned. So maybe we should help fix that. And then my guy hasn't won a game since. And it explains why he can't run against those Carolina Panthers. So we'll see how this affects the OMFL Bowl. But fellas, what a championship Sunday we have had. I got to call each of those games, one with each of you. What do we think about Championship Sunday?
Bro, it was awesome.
I think it was a fun one. I got to watch bits and pieces of the NFC Championship game, but I obviously got to call the AFC Championship game with you. And, I'm not surprised who's the last one standing. I think a lot of guys picked these two, and we'll be in for a treat. Hopefully, I'm able and free to call that game as well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw total domination from the Birdman, and of course, in the news we find out, but still, I definitely think that all that aside, I think he did call a great game versus Colin, and so he's going to be representing the NFC for the second year in a row in the bowl game. So let's see what happens. Though,
I just want to make sure, Big Hurt, you can hear Maniac, right?
No.
What do you mean no? Did you use the link I gave you?
Yes.
The last link that I sent you. Now he's questioning. We fixed this stuff last time. We figured it out, but now you've got me questioning if you clicked the right link.
I will go back and try that one, but that was the link I clicked on.
Yeah. Click the very last link. Let's just make sure. All right, we're gonna get Big Hurt all figured out. It was working last time we did this. You guys were able to hear each other, so it's the exact same link. It is guests can hear each other's. That's really what it says. The link says guests hear others. So
I can hear him.
Okay.
But
I wonder why he couldn't hear you, because you could hear him. Big Hurt? Maniac, say something.
I'm here. All I see is you. He's not anywhere in there.
Well, why? That doesn't make
hear
any
me?
sense.
I see you. I can hear you.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me make sure that our buddy only see.
I clicked on the link above the Bueller GIF, just so he knows.
I'm gonna send you another link because he can hear you and he can see you.
I can't see him.
Oh, you can't see him. Okay.
I see his little icon.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're
gonna
gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna send y'all a new link. All right.
All right.
Y'all both rejoin with that link. Boys, we're figuring this out. We're working out the little kinks, the little bugs, the little things that are messing things up. What up, Nice Songer? Nice Songer's the only one that says, I can come back and listen to this for the third time today. It's okay. We're going to figure it out, and things will be much smoother after all of this.
I'm back. All I see is you, though.
Hey,
Do you see him, Maniac?
I see him. Him and his little red mic.
I don't understand. He cannot see you or hear you, and that doesn't make any sense.
Hurt, did you ban me? Did you like block me or something, bro?
I can't even wrap my head around what it could be. I'm gonna think really, really quick about what this could be. I'm trying to think really fast. Worst case, I'm just gonna have to hold y'all's hand and walk it through because I mean, Manny, I can hear and see you, and for whatever reason, you can't hear and see him, and that doesn't make any finite sense to me. It should be working. All right, I'm just gonna hold y'all's hand. Let me get you re-added to this thing.
Actually, I wanna hold your hand. I just gotta add Maniac.
So the only other thing we could do is
we're gonna see if we can make this work or not. We're gonna do our very best here. See if we can't make this work. So it should be a lot of fun.
I'll just let him answer first every time. So
That's it. Yeah, he's saying he's saying he'll just let you answer first every single time. Boy, this is gonna be. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes tech just doesn't make any sense. That's just the way it does go sometimes. All right, we're gonna close those things. I was trying to think of what else it could have possibly be, and nothing is coming to mind. I don't know why it's working for Maniac and not for you, but we'll unpackage that another time. Wild card games. We're going to look at both of these. We're not going to peel these back one by one. If you see something you want to talk about, we can talk about it. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Detroit Lions 38-35. Meat Boy continues to stay red hot, but sneaking away with one against Tim. Colin and the Bears win 39-21 over Joker and the Cardinals. Bird and the Panthers beat Mr. Big Hurt and those Vikings 31-24. Over on the AFC side, we got Randy and the Colts beating Penguins and the Steelers 27-20 in a good game. Chargers and Logan 31, Nipples and the Ravens 23, and Cincyberg, of course, and the Jets beat Roger and the Texans 28-23. I got to give it to Tim, man. He played a really good game against one of the hottest teams that we had in the OMFL going into the playoffs, and to hang there with the big boys is something to kind of gain your confidence. And like, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose to one of the hotter teams out there. Big Hurt, any of these wild card games, suit your fancy?
Well, I was impressed with Tim. I played him a couple times, and obviously knowing what Meek is available or capable of doing, I just think that was. Sorry, my daughter just came running down like she was like running from somebody. Anyways, back to my thought process here. But yeah, just seeing Tim, the way he hung with Meek and what he's capable of doing and what he's put up numbers wise was impressive. But then obviously Meek ran into a freight train in the second round, which we'll get to later. But I will also speak to my game against against Bird, and that, man, his defense is just on another level. Like, from basically line of scrimmage back, it's just craziness. And he is a dynamic play caller as well. So, but yeah, first round was lots of good games. You could talk about pretty much any one of these.
Yeah, I'm with Hurt here. You can talk about any one of these games, I think, and it would be spot on with how the league played this last season. I guess with all these guys getting into the playoffs, they represented well. I think one again. I've sung the praises of Roger all season long. All the stuff that he goes through, and yet he's really competed well. I think now with the AFC champion, he played a Cincy there in the wild card and actually played him pretty close there with 28-23 loss. Uh, and I just think that speaks kind of the parity. Also, we talked about that so many times in the league. Uh, Roger, I mean, realistically, you look at that, he had a chance. If he made it past that, who knows? Roger could have actually gotten to the OMFL Bowl, which is kind of awesome to think about. But, a lot of great games, though.
Yeah, there were some fun games there in the wild card round, but when we get to the next one, it gets a little weird here. You can see, if we look over here at the NFC, my brothers over here had some great games. Carolina beats the Dallas Cowboys 23-20. Dallas was up big late in that game. I think there was 7 minutes left in that game or 6 minutes left, and somehow Carolina Panthers come from 3 scores down to win that one. Chicago and Seattle, this game was great both times they played. They had to play 2 times, and this game was a great game. I was hoping for a great second game because it was so good the first time. It sucked to see them have a DC. But then if you look over here in the AFC, it's not as good of games. Our guys over there had a much more of a blowout victories. The Jets absolutely demolished, and I think the biggest shocker of the divisional round, 27-44 over Little Koch. And then the Indianapolis Colts fall to Logan 38-28. I think even Randy would state that this score was much closer than the game itself was. He just started turning the ball over a little too much and then started chasing his tail, which we've seen happen whenever we got to the championship round. Big Hurt just stepped away, so Maniac, you get to go first this time. What caught your eye here in the divisional round?
Yeah, I mean, there are some great games. NFC, those scores right there to speak to the dogfight that it is there in the NFC. AFC, the Jets, just how they dismantled the Bengals. As I was just kind of quickly scanning over some of the stats, the Jets forced Duncan from the Bengals into 4 picks. He was sacked twice. Just a lot of missed opportunities there for the Bengals and Little Koch, and then McDimes was Mr. McDimes because he was 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, wasn't sacked, 18-26, almost 70% completion for the game. So he was just locked in, and we've talked about that before about Cincy. He gets into the playoffs. There's just this different beast that Cincy kind of turns into, and we're seeing that right now since he's going to be representing the AFC.
Big Hurt, Maniac was given his breakdown of the divisional round and what caught his eye. He was talking about that Cincy game with Cincinnati falling to Cincyburg and the Jets 44-24. The NFC had some great games. I think the Bird comeback was one for the ages. Anything catch your eye here in the divisional round? Oh, muted.
I think anytime anybody can upset D Wayne, like that's got to be talked about. Collins had a great season and has put a pretty good cycle together, but so is Bird, and Bird is the defending champ, and coming back and having. I think D Wayne in his mind knew that he was going to get a really, really, really good game with the Panthers, so I don't think you're overlooking the Panthers anymore. Not saying that he did overlook him the first time, but if there was any type of, confidence thing, like he knew that, okay, now I'm playing the defending champion.
Yeah.
I got to buckle down. And so for Bird to kind of get everybody's best shot and then the repeat and beat the top dog in D Wayne, that was impressive. But I also think what's impressive is I think both AFC games, I didn't anticipate the dominance by Logan to beat Randy the way he did, but I also was like really shocked that the top dog there for this season, being the Bengals, falls to the Jets the way they do. And I think Cincy can do that, and as well as Logan and Randy, both are really good. So I don't want to say that I'm shocked, but I just feel like everything gets tighter, everything gets a little bit more magnified, and just people play a little bit different when it comes to playoff football than regular season. And to see the gap in the score for those games, and the Chargers to me typically play a little bit more like control the pace. 38 points against the Colts is a pretty impressive thing. But again, just to see a 10-point and then 17 points, whereas the NFC, like you said, were a little bit tighter. But there's, like I said, any of these 8 teams are impressive. So it was fun to lock in and see and watch some of those games.
What the hell?
That's what I thought whenever I looked at that Cincinnati and Jets score. I was like, holy cow, like what happened in that game? I didn't get to watch it, just seen the score pop up. And that brings us to what happened here today. We had the Chargers and the Jets in the AFC that just happened like less than an hour ago, whatever that may have been, a little over an hour ago now. And then Chicago and Carolina that happened earlier today. Maniac, you and I got to call the Chicago-Carolina Panther game. Hurt and I got to call the last one between Logan and Cincyberg. Let's start with the last one first. Logan and Cincy traded the first 14. They went back and forth. They looked like they're efficient offenses that we're used to seeing. And then all of a sudden in the second half, a switch was clicked, and both these guys started turning the ball over. And I said at the beginning, I've seen Logan, he'll put the ball up in harm's way, and since he needed to capitalize on that, and that wasn't happening earlier, but neither was Logan able to capitalize. And then we've seen the play that could be arguably the play of the year. It is a clip that will come out here pretty soon whenever I post our YouTube charts. But the wide receiver, what's his name? I'm losing his name already. What's Cincyberg's
Earl Lowry.
Lowry on a little in and out. Logan user blitzes right up the gut, a man in McDime's face, and he throws a supersized McDime's off to the left side, right in the cheeks of Lowry. He dives, catches it, touchdown. It ends up being the game winner. Big Hurt, you and I got to call that one, but anything stick out to you about that game now that we've kind of let it rest for about an hour or so? A really instant classic game between those guys.
Definitely an instant classic. I enjoyed calling that game. I also kind of felt like going in, I felt it was going to be...
Maniac's blinding himself over here. You can't see him, but I can. And I'm sorry, it just made me laugh. My guy had that light was bright.
He's got the light shining through. But anyways, yeah, so I think back to that game, I think both teams really did a good job of like controlling the first drive or two, feeling each other out to see, how they were gonna play. Both teams made adjustments, and I felt that would be the case. I didn't think it would be kind of a 44-35, something crazy, high-scoring game. I figured Logan would try and, knowing how smart of a player he is, he would try and basically kind of control the tempo, control the game. And then Cincy would just, knowing him at the time, he's kind of getting down to crunch time, and he's been hungry for that bowl win again. I feel like he was going to try and play really efficient football, limit the turnovers, and just not try and get too out of the spectrum, but just try and play solid football. And he did, but both teams, like you said, Logan threw the first pick, held Cincy. He missed that field goal, and then it flipped. Cincy threw the pick. Logan went down, got the field goal. But they exchanged blows. They played good defense. They got stops. And then the second half, like you said, that play by McDimes to Earl Lowry was just kind of the defining moment and really what sums up that Jets offense. I mean, McDimes has thrown some absolute darts, and Lowry with 135 catches, I mean, makes the play when you need him, and that's the guy that you go to in those moments.
Maniac, you and I got to call that game earlier today, a complete dominating victory there for the Carolina Panthers. That one's got to sit for a bit. We've seen our guy Colin just continue to chase the throws there and ended up just throwing, I think, a total of 6 picks before that game, or 5 picks before that game was over. Any thoughts stick out to you now that game's been sitting for a bit?
Yeah, getting to experience that firsthand, definitely felt a little bit of a pain for Colin there because he was trying to get back in it, but man, Bird's defense was just swarming to every pass, especially like when he got close to the red zone and he went 30 yards inside his side of the field. Bird's defense just went absolute berserk lockdown. And, Colin, he's been a prolific passer. I mean, really, we've always given him a hard time about force feeding his wide receivers, but he's always been really good, really efficient, not turn the ball over a lot. I know he's had his moments, but it just seemed like there was no answer in this game for him. He was trying probably passing concepts and route combinations that he probably hadn't even used all season long, and there was nothing working for him. And I like I said, I kind of fell for him because there is no worse feeling when you're playing a competitive game and you have no answer, and that's just what it looked like. The Bears had no answer for the Panthers.
Yeah, it was just a dominating victory, and one that, again, I said this earlier in the day, that Bird's play calling is pretty standard. I don't, that word doesn't feel like it fits, but he has a ritual of the way he calls games, how he attacks you early, how that kind of adjusts after halftime, how he likes to put pressure on you, and he stuck to his game plan, and just Colin never could sort of right the ship. And the comment was made in chat when we were watching the AFC Championship game. When Logan needed to get back into it, he started running. It was Bird himself. Bird even said, look, Logan's running the ball still, even with time ticking away. Colin never did that. Colin never got back to the run. I don't even know what those final numbers were. Let's show it. Let's look. Let's go quickly look. I think it was really bad. I think really, really bad. Let's see.
Well, Swift did have 6 carries.
Oh, he had 6. And I think the other guy only had like 3. So we definitely came up short. Playoff schedule.
His backup only had 1.
There you go. So a total of 7 rushes there for the Chicago Bears. It's just not going to get it done. Number one, it's against FPR. But number 2, it's just not going to beat teams like Bird. It plays into his hand. He wants you to push the ball downfield, and he's going to go and make some plays on you. So just kudos to Carolina. Kudos to the New York Jets. I think it's the first one that we've seen in a long time. Cincy, you're in the chat. Is this your first bowl game in quite some time? I think it is. Let's preview. Let's look at some stats here really quick. I'm going to call out some stats.
When was he the Colts? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that would have been 2 cycles ago.
Yeah, whenever he took the guy Thomas from you and turned him into like
he didn't take him from me. I gladly gave him up. I don't know how he turned him into a beast.
I don't know how he made him and used him.
I don't either. Let's look at some stats really quick. We're going to take our ugly faces off here so we can show you a couple of stats. Total offensive plays. You can see we're looking for Jets and we're looking for the Panthers. I'm trying to skim all these. Jets here are going to be, I don't know where this is, 7th, 8th, like that. The Panthers are going to be a little further down this list. Did I skip them? I'm so far down the list. I'm afraid I skipped them. No, they're pretty far down the list. I think a lot of that is going to be that his quarterback was hurt for a majority of the season. Looking at the passing plays, the Jets are right up there towards the top 10 as we would expect. I'm assuming here the Panthers are going to be super low. They are. They're going to be in the bottom half of the league. Again, their starting quarterback was out most of the season. But when we flip over to the rushing yards, probably going to see these numbers flip-flop just a little bit. The Carolina Panthers are always one of the top running teams. You can see he's top 12 here in the league. And then looking for the Jets, he's going to be in the bottom portion of the league because he's a passer first, and he's here in the bottom portion. Points per game, we're going to look at these really quick. Does this show on the main screen? I'm sitting here looking at the stats. I'm like, it might actually show here on the main screen. I don't think it will. Let's see. It is not. Okay, so I'll keep back doing what I was doing. Looking at some points per game really fast. I would assume the Jets are going to be at the tippy top here. Yep, they're going to be in the top 8 or 9 here. And the Panthers, I'm going to assume middle. Yeah, right there, middle of the pack at 26.2. Passing touchdowns, the Jets are going to be towards the top. They are top 10. The Panthers, I'm going to assume, are going to be towards the bottom. They are. And then the rushing touchdowns, I would assume that is going to be flipped. No, the Jets are right up there towards the top. They're going to be top 9 or 10 there. And the Panthers are going to be like 14 or 15. Look at the defense really quick, and then I will shut up. Looking at the total defense, Panthers are at the tippy top. Jets aren't going to be too far behind him. Oh, I'm wrong on that. Jets are going to be like a little bit lower than the middle, so probably 17 to 20. I'm not counting these one by one. Looking at the passing, the Jets actually gave up the most passing yards in the entire league, and the Panthers gave up the least amount of passing yards on defense. So that's going to be a fun showdown. Looking at the rushing yards allowed, the Jets allowed probably 7th or 8th lowest rushing yards. The Panthers are right behind them. It looks like 5 spots behind them. So they're going to fall somewhere at 12. Looking at total points given up, it's going to be, look, my Saints up there. Wow, okay. Pat myself on the back there really quick. Jets are about middle of the pack. Panthers are going to be just a little bit lower than that. Where did I miss the Panthers? Where'd they go? Oh, they're right above me. So they're going to be top half of the league. And then finally, I'm wrapping this up, I promise. Sacks on the season. Of course, when you got ban X factors, that's going to help your numbers just a little bit. He's middle of the pack or so. Jets are going to be just a couple spots behind him. Fumbles on the season, not that this really matters. I'm not even going to look at it. Interceptions on the season, we will look at those, though. Panthers are going to be top 3. They're 3rd in the league with 40 interceptions on the season. And the Jets are going to be like top 14 or so, 12 or so with 29 on the season. So looking at that, fellas, how are we thinking this game is going to play out as we do a little preview? Big Hurt, I'm tossing it to you first.
Well, I'm not surprised that the Jets are last in passing yards allowed just because of the division that he's in with Rusty Starr and the Patriots. Massimo tends to be more of an aired out type of guy. And then Maniac can pass the ball. I mean, he usually is a little bit more run balanced than the other two, but he still has Josh Allen, the rookie quarterback, and can pass the ball. And I mean, he's played in that division long enough that I think he can figure that out, that, you know, you got to hang with the big dogs and play the style. You build that team around the same way. And Maniac's been a top dog in the league. So that division itself, you know, so I'm not surprised. But he's also going up against the rest of the AFC, which there's some, you know, competition there in the passing game as well. So look, Jets schedule, I'm not surprised. I think what's going to be interesting, though, is, I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer moment or comment, but turnovers. Because when I played Bird's defense, those corners can lock it down. J.C. Horn and I don't know the other guy's name off the top of my head, but they are like lockdown corners. But on the Jets side, you have Sauce and then Britton Staley, who also locked it down, and we just saw that against Logan. So I think both corners, both sets of starting corners for the Jets and the Panthers are really, really, really good. So it's going to be interesting, whereas the Jets have, I think, a little bit obviously stronger passing game. Bird's got the running game that they can go with it, but since he used the running game pretty effectively in that game against the Chargers, so and even the Bengals, so it'll be interesting to see how they play out. I think it's just a moment of kind of putting guys in uncomfortable situations, and kind of like that one where since he was in the pocket, stepped up and threw the ball while he was moving and threw it. You know, if he can just create moments like that and you know, put guys in situations, it just speeds the thinking process up. Or even the one where, since he had a deep guy and he paused and just hesitated for a slight second, threw the pick to Asante Samuel. Those are just either speeding somebody up or making somebody think he's open, and then you throw it and you're like, oh, he's not open. So I think that's what these defenses, and that's why they're here. These two teams are still standing because of their defenses. And the only thing I'm going to point out is on the game, the Panthers' defensive rating is like a 97 from,
they're
like I said,
crazy.
the line of scrimmage back. They are loaded.
They're loaded. And I feel like though both teams could do the opposite thing really well as well, they have shown the propensity this season to do things opposite of each other. We got McDimes, we got Lowry. We like to go 4 or 5 wide. We like to do the big play. And we've seen Cincy that can get him in trouble. I mean, Logan let him off the hook a couple of times. Cincy made some that one where he steps up in the pocket, tries to throw it on a run over the linebacker's head, makes a play. Like, that's just a throw you can't get away with. And to be honest, even the game-winning touchdown it was a great play by Lowry, an amazing throwback McDimes, but he's got a dude in his face on 3rd and 1. Instead of running the ball, he's trying to throw the ball. So if you try to play that way against Bird and that defense, you can get yourself in some trouble. It's going to be a tale of two completely different teams that attack you very differently. Here's one thing Bird doesn't do and why he has won an OMFL Bowl here and is in line to try to win his second is he never turns the ball over. It's very rare. He's like Dwayne. Like, if you get an interception from him or a fumble, you better turn it into 7 because you're not going to get a lot of those. So he doesn't turn the ball over and he causes a lot of interceptions. As we've seen against Chicago, 5 interceptions, and he'll hit stick you and get some fumbles. So all of those things played into account. It's going to be a really fun game. Maniac, how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one. We're talking about the secondary. Both guys have built a tremendous secondary, especially the cornerbacks. Really, truly, honestly, like their 3rd and 4th cornerback could probably be starting for some of the teams in the league right now. So when you have that kind of depth, again, that's probably the reason why you see like guys just like in the hip pocket and not letting nothing go unless you got an absolute superstar. Like we've seen a couple guys from Colin, they did get open a few times, but it wasn't consistent enough for him. I think the spot on defense that the Panthers have the biggest advantage is his safeties. Both his safeties are like superstar caliber type players, and the Jets on their safeties actually, he's got the strong safety is pretty good, but he's not real fast. But his free safety is like my guy from the Bills, like from season 1. He's still in the league, 33 years old, and he's like slow as molasses, and he's got him starting on the free safety. So I'm not real sure how that's going to affect the defense for him. But you may see Bird exploit that some. But it's gonna come down to, again, like you talked about, who makes the most mistakes. And I know it seems like so simplistic, but I mean that's the way it is. You make the less mistakes, you give yourself the better chance to win the game. And just like what you talked about, Bird seems to be a little bit better with the actual being a little bit less gunslinger-ish, I guess to say. And since he likes to, guns blazing and trying to get a lot of points scored, the best they can with his great wide receiver core. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Bird's able to continue on with how he's played dominantly on defense, and then can Cincy Bird actually unlock the potential against Bird with his wide receivers, and whoever does the best out of that matchup, I think is going to win the bowl game.
It's like saying, hey, anus cancer is bad for your health. Don't catch anus cancer. Yeah, I'm going to try not to do that. It's like saying don't turn the ball over against Bird or Cincy. Again, I'm just going to have to lean on what I think. I'm going to ask both of you to give me a prediction for this game. I think Bird wins it. And Cincy can put up a lot of points, and I believe that he will keep this game close. He's in chat. I ain't trying to be disrespectful to nobody. I love everybody here and appreciate the guys that play video games here and help build this community. I take a lot of pride in what we do. This isn't personal. This is like, it's a show. I got to make a pick. I just think Bird doesn't turn the ball over and causes turnovers. Since he will give the ball up from time to time, and we seen it last game, didn't really establish the run. Now, just because I'm saying all this, he might go try to change his game plan, but I'm looking at the season stats, and the season stats say that might be how this game plays out, just like what we've seen happen in the AFC Championship game. So I say Carolina wins this one. It will not shock me if the Jets do. He is playing. I mean, he took out arguably the top two hottest teams in the entire league in the Bengals and in, well, I would, you could even throw the Colts in there, Colts, Bengals, and Raj. And then why am I drawing a blank on who he beat before that? Oh, Logan, the one we just finished calling. Like those are some of the hottest teams. Now Bird is field tested. He went to Dallas, he made a comeback, and he won a game he shouldn't have. And then he just sort of steamrolled his way to where we got here today. And he's playing with a lot of confidence. So it's going to be a great game. Big Hurt, give me your prediction. OMFL Bowl 115.
OMFL Bowl 115. For me, what it comes down to is I think either one of these guys could easily make it. I think either one of these guys could come out on top and make it their own. But like you said, for the sake of a show, for sake of picking, I think if Cincy stays focused and stays locked in and plays the football he's capable of playing, he just has to play discipline every snap, can't get out of just distractions and can't be like, oh, I'm going to try and make this big play, but just take the plays that are given and control the game, control the things that he can control. If he does have a turnover, kind of just have that next play mentality and really bottle this and weather the storm, I think the Jets come out on top. And the reason I say that is because he's hungry for a bowl. He's been chomping to get, and he's built this team. He's got the secondary. He's got the 1-2 punch, big bruising backs. He's got the 4 deep receivers with the guy leading the group, and Earl Lowry with like a career year. He's got the quarterback to lead the group. And he's in moments. I talked a little bit about in the game of the AFC Championship game. I wouldn't consider Cincy like an elite defender, but I would consider him an elite stick skill user. So the guy that he is using, he will fill that hole. He will not get burnt. And so, the times where Bird's going to run and hit the A gap and then cut back, since he's not going to get burnt on that, like he's gonna play well on the user skill. And so I think that's what is going to help him. I just think Bird's won it. He's obviously hungry and he has a team to repeat. But I just think since he might want it a little bit more just because he hasn't won one yet and he's there, he finally got there, and he has the potent offense to do it.
What did he say?
My guy out here, Cincy Bird, filling them holes and getting him a championship maniac. How do you see this one playing out?
That's pretty funny. I like the new sounds, by the way.
Filling all the holes.
Looking at the rosters, man, Bird just has a monster front seven, and they've got abilities and
even the abilities that you can have. He's even got those.
So that may play a factor. So we'll see how that plays in effect. But right now, looking at these guys, they're absolute monsters, and if you can get pressure, like we talked about it when we were calling that game, I mean, 4 guys rushing, and he was getting almost instant pressure a lot of times. So anytime you can do that, put all the rest of the guys back basically in coverage, that just makes the windows to pass the ball so small, and that can affect your game plan, and we saw that happen with Colin. For me though, I'm gonna go with the guy that I've played twice this season. The Jets and Cincyberg. I just think he's kind of playing at a different level right now, and I don't know nothing to take away from Bird because obviously he beat Dwayne and some of these guys to get there as well. But the fact that he may have to change abilities, may not be able to maybe kind of count on some of those guys doing what they were doing in effect in some situations. So that may change up some play calls. It may also cause him to rethink about, maybe the ultimate blitz on first down mentality every time if they're not going to get through. So that, again, that may change some play calling on his part. But I just think Cincy, again, playing him twice a season, he can definitely call an exceptional game. And I know from playing him, he's going to be studying this game. He's going to know every little in and out of Bird's defense, and he's going to try to exploit any kind of weakness that he can find from Bird. So give me Cincy and the Jets to come out on top 27-21 in this game.
Bruh. I'm the only one. But what, Bird, I need you to come close. Come close. Hold on a second, Bird.
Zoom in.
It's just me and you here, Bird. I'm the only one that puts up with you. I'm the only one that believes in you in this entire podcast. Did you hear they all picked Cincyberg? They all picked the Jets. They all picked him. I picked you, okay? I chose you. You are my one. So I'm going to need you to get it together and bring this home for the NFC. I just want to make sure that he heard me correctly.
That was the Titanic music, by the way.
All right. Hey, you got to go with what works. Like since you said in the chat, he's got 3 kids. He fills all them holes. What else do you need?
Craig, we never have open teams. That's the honest truth. This group as a whole has been pretty together for a long time. We do have a waiting list, though. More than welcome to jump on it. You never know. Every time I say we've been together a long time, I get the random message of like, oh, I've got a new job and I'm leaving. So you never know. The random things do happen, but got a couple old timers trying to get back in. So that list is getting a little long, but the only way to ever get in is to jump in. So get on the waiting list. Also, the NBC, I think, has some openings, and you can start there. And we're trying to figure out a way, or Joker's trying to figure out a way to sort of how to make the NBC to be what the Deuce used to be and be sort of like a feeder league. So we'll see how that works out. Well, fellas, we've come to the end of our show. Season 115 is going to be wrapped up here before we know it. Yeah, it's crazy that this is it, that we're already at the end. I mean, I told the wife, I was like, I'm calling 2 games and doing a podcast tonight, and then in the next 48 hours, I'm doing the bowl game. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's our last season, so we got to get it in. And we're like a month away before the new game breaks out, so we got a good little break. We probably will do some kind of coach-only league. Bill was thinking about doing one. He said no. Priest wants to do one, but the way he wants to do one is he wants me to set it all up and get it running, and then he'll step in and do it. So I guess Priest just wants to hit the advance button. I appreciate Priest for that. But we're going to figure that out here over the next week. We got to do our last draft. I need to start updating things for Madden 26. We have started our fundraiser. I got to start updating things around that. Mainly those changes are going to come to the OMFL. The ones for the entire group are pretty much set in stone. There's not too many more things that I can add to that. So it's a fun time. Give me some closing thoughts, Mr. Big Hurt.
Hey, I don't know if it's ever happened before, but there's always a first time for something to happen. And we're under an hour, and me and Maniac are on the show. And you didn't even have to use your new soundboard. Boom!
2,000 years later.
I still have a turn.
Yeah, he still has an opportunity to blow it. No, I was like, I was proud of us, but I was like, there's not a whole lot to talk about. And we still talked for almost an hour, even with not that much to talk about. Maniac, give me a final closing thought.
This is gonna be an intriguing bowl game. I actually can't wait for it. Looking forward to calling it. If all the cards fall, I'll be there with you and Mr. Hurt, and we'll be calling that game. It's gonna be a fun, exciting one. I was going to say, did you tell your wife about the college game dropping tomorrow? Honey, I'm gonna get a break.
Shut your stinking mouth, okay? We only tell her the things that we need to tell her.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, college football drops tomorrow for those that ordered it early. So as soon as I get off here, I'm fixing to order it. So
yeah, it's a good time, man. It's a good time to be a part of Grown Folks. The NHL League is itching. I think that's the reason they're watching Press Pass Live. They're like, could you guys shut up so we can get Maniac to come play NHL and Big Hurt? We've got college football kicking off here really soon. We got Maximum Football. We haven't quite figured out if we can use that as a community, but we've also got a bunch of new FPS games coming out fairly soon. Over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to see some of that. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of big things happening, and it's an exciting time to be here. I'm a little overwhelmed because I got a lot of work to go do, but outside of that, the stream is up and ready. It looks beautiful. It's working the way that I wanted it to work. And so I'm happy with how that turned out. Now I can turn my attention to all the unfun stuff that no one ever sees me do, like the history and the graphics and the winners and all the things that we got to get out there. So it's been a ton of fun. Big Hurt, Maniac, thank you.
I have one question for you. I just want to play this real quick. Since if you're listening, me and Maniac picked you. I hope this plays a lot during the OMFL Bowl game. No disrespect to Bird, though. Chance. Good luck, buddy.
We'll see how that plays out. One of these teams is going to get another championship. Both of them are already past champions here in the OMFL. And I'm pumped about Madden 26. I can't wait to get it in hand. I'll probably hate it within 3 weeks, but I'm pumped to get it in hand. It does look like we are going to go all pro with abilities on. It looks like I'll be able to unban all abilities. So, Bird, you won't have to break rules anymore. It looks like we're going to try to loosen the rules as much as we can. I don't know. The board, sometimes they go with me because they're like, cool. Like let's do it. And then I hear complaints as we go, and it's like, okay, we'll put things back. So
these guys are tough, bro.
They can be tough. What do you mean those guys? He's acting like he don't have the hat on. Those guys include you.
On another side note, we are officially 12 hours from College Football 26 to fill that void until Madden 26 drops.
Well, we also have a draft to do, so hopefully you guys will come hang out with me for the 3-round draft that we'll do to close out Madden 25 and close it out on a great note. All right, fellas, that's going to do it. Let you go play some NHL, and we'll get back to it on Monday. I'll do some streaming of some college football. And I'm also missing playing some shooters, so I'm going to try to stream some shooters this week. Guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. Know that I love you. You matter. We'll see you on the next one, okay? Peace.
Deuces.
Smash that like and subscribe.